Hey, hello everyone. Dr. Sue here, and it's always a pleasure to be with you and to connect on things that matter. And so we are here in this moment to bring you a little bit of information about someone that I've just met. Mutual friend has introduced me to Mandy and her partner Oliver, who are just amazing people. And of all the things that I could tell you about their bios and their background and that type of thing, what I really want to share with you is that they're good folks. And so when it kind of comes from that place, then everything that follows after that matters most. So I'd like to share with you an individual who has written a book that is coming out, and I'm very thrilled about it. For humanity, it is 8 Secrets to Powerful Manifesting. And Mandy Morris is joining us just to have a brief conversation to tell you a little bit about where she's coming from and whether you might be interested in picking up the book and helping to spread the word of what manifesting is all about. I know we have lots of conversations around manifesting, and that manifesting is our true state of coming fully into the body and arriving here on this planet with all of our gifts and all of our medicine that we are here to bring, at the same time that we're here to truly, connect and heal and dissolve any interferences that we've been experiencing along the way. So life is dishing that up for us as the perfect playground to do so. And so I'd like to welcome Mandy and chat with you guys with Mandy for just a few moments so that you can kind of get to feel. Welcome, Mandy, and thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. I'm so excited.
Yes, indeed. It's such a beautiful thing when we start to put our thoughts and our perceptions together, what wisdoms that we've come up with, and to finally land it in a book that puts it together and holds that space in a sustainable manner. I know that project, and I congratulate you on putting all that together and really committing to what it takes to do so. So, your book's about manifesting. Can you just share a little bit about what stirred the idea of manifesting in your world?
Yeah. Going backwards, there was a huge time and really the majority of my life where I was pretty lost. But the one thing that always kept me going was serving others. So I was always volunteering as a kid and trying to help people. And when I hit this point in my life where things were really not working out, I gave myself over fully to service. And I asked, my higher power, I think I'm here for a reason, or whatever puzzle piece I am. I'm not doing it. I'm not being it. How do I contribute to the world? And I didn't know manifestation would be something I was supposed to be a part of, but it was just kind of what plopped upon my lap, and I promised to follow my guidance on it. So here I am.
Yeah, it does unfold, right? Life unfolds. I think when we're in our early 20s, we don't really have any idea. Prior to that, we have clueless. It's just like, how do I make it, to the next day and get what I want and that kind of thing. And when I look back to my 20s and even in my early 30s, I didn't have any idea where I was headed and what was to unfold. And I love that you're landing these ideas early in your life. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but you're younger than many, and so I think it's really beautiful that you've gotten some clarification and some qualifications to your ideas and your thoughts, and you've landed them in this beautiful way. So I've enjoyed looking into the book and the principles in there. So thank you very much for bringing this forward. You talk about counter manifesting. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I look at it as, the manifestation process is us moving forward and being the grandest version of us. And hopefully that deeply impacts the world. That's my hope. I'm like, we're all little cells in a body, and one healthy cell doesn't do enough. But if we're all igniting each other through the ripple effect, like what a beautiful world this will be. And counter manifesting is kind of that opposite. It's all of those false beliefs and the fears and the behaviors that tell us that we're going in the wrong direction, or where I see a lot of humanity of thinking that they have to grind their lives through, or they're unworthy. And so we send out this oppositional energy to that which we really want to be, that authentic version of us. And so we counter creating a beautiful world, basically.
So if somebody finds themselves doing that, what would you suggest that they begin looking at, or how do you suggest that they change their perspective enough that it can have a positive impact in the direction that they truly choose?
Well, of course, it's a little bit of a process. I wish it was a snap the fingers, right?
Right. Yeah.
But for me, it's always been just diving into the subconscious and diving into our energy and what's out of alignment and understanding it and loving ourselves through it and loving others through it and seeing it from a different perspective. I say like throwing off some lenses and putting some new ones on. Why is this serving me? How can this help myself and help the world? The more that I think that we spread that outwardly, the better. But it is really digging into what isn't working, or why do I believe the things that are contradicting this beautiful part of me, and then challenging it.
Yes, there's such an interesting thing that happens when I want to manifest this, or I feel like I want this to happen in my life or in the world, and our energies tend to go out there trying to make it happen. And what you're talking about is that we have to go deeply. We have to dive inwardly to ever have that connection that would generate the kind of power that is needed to truly have change in the world. So um,
Absolutely.
I dig it. I dig it that you love it. And I love it that you dig it. I love it that you get it. So you talk about set it and forget it. Tell me, scoop it for me, okay? Tell me
Yeah.
what you feel.
So I always, this is just my little jam. So, take it or leave it. But I
Yeah.
always say before a manifestation, I'm like, in the highest good of all, like I'm taking all of existence into account. And if it is meant, may it be, and let me get into that version of me that can achieve it. And how can I bring everybody, kind of with me? And so I like to get myself into that state of just massive gratitude, or looking at all of this incredible abundance around me, or blessing someone else with a new perspective, or whatever I can. And then I'll write out something that I want to create, like literally my book deal. I was like, it would be so cool if it's in the highest good of all, that I could write a book for humanity, and I could do it with Hay House.
Mm.
And then I just forgot about it. So I set the intention. I was in a really high, clear state. And if it was meant to be, and if it was going to serve, then may it be. And I think it was 5 years later, I was then asked to write the book, and here I am. So the set it and forget it is get into a high state, set that intention. If you want to put the highest good of all so that everybody benefits, I think that's beautiful. And then you just forget about it. You just let it be, and you let the universe do its beautiful thing, and you keep your energy into that space. And man, I tell you what, it's like going into the pantry and picking a snack. It gets so easy and so beautiful, You're like,
That is
what am I
easy.
in the mood for today?
Beautiful. I know that some in my community have heard a story that I share about that, regarding writing down something that someone asked me to write, about, what would I be doing if my life was any way that I wanted it to be. And had been so busy being a good soldier, being a good doctor, being a good student and a good citizen, and just doing what I thought I was supposed to do, that I didn't ever really stop and think about really dreaming the life of my dreams. Those words didn't ever even exist in my reality. And so tears came down my face, and I was just like, I don't know. You're asking me this question, I don't know the answer to it. And he said something magical to me. He said, well, what would you say if you did know? What would you say if you did know what you would love your life to be like? And in that moment, it like my imagination was able to come into the picture, and I was like, oh well, if I did know, I'd be teaching meditation retreats on beautiful beachfront destinations all around the world. And he said, write that down. And I was like, yeah, right. I'm a doctor. I got a clinic. I got responsibilities. I got other doctors working for me as staff. That's not going to happen. He said, write it down. And so I did. And I shut the book when our conversation was over, stuck it in my desk drawer. And a few years later, I was moving my office, and I had to empty my desk, and pulled the book out and opened to that page. And I just sat down in my chair because, 3 days later, I was leaving for my first beachfront destination meditation healing retreat, because I said it and forgot it, and it took care of itself, because I allowed that to just come through, and to be anchored in this world.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're onto it with what our community is into, and this I love just crossing the paths, and exposing everyone to everything that is of like mind and like heart, it sounds like we're really plugging in this way together. So
Amen. I vibe so much with you.
yeah. So Mandy, here's another thing about my community. They're very much interested in energetic, vibrational frequency, epigenetics, the quantum field, and all of this. And so I'm sure they'd love to hear about your take on vibrational frequency and manifesting and what it all has to do with each other. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll throw my random thoughts, I suppose. I feel like I could answer it differently every day because vibration is energy is such a big, incredible conversation. But
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
feels right, in this moment is I always imagine that we're in this energy soup, I call it. There's so many frequencies all around us and different signatures. I call them signatures, but just different energy that we're feeling. And the ones that we resonate with are the ones we bring to us, whether it's, a trigger and we don't really like it, we still resonate with it, right? It's there to help us learn and grow and be a greater version of us, or all of those incredible things that resonate on that authentic version of us. And so I always imagine when I look at the vibration that we experience and whatever, like almost like a pie, and you can smell the pie, that little in the cartoons, you see the little wave and you're like, it's like some certain frequencies. I'm like, what's that? And no matter what, it's there to serve me. Right. And I think that like on an energetic level, when I choose to see all things there to serve me, give me feedback, make me a greater version of me, I transmute it through that process. So regardless of what it is, even if it's a life trial or a huge growth opportunity or whatever, it's like seeing it in that beautiful space, it transmutes it into me sending out a further energy that is incredible and beautiful. And regardless of what it is, it brings it into something light and love. And then the world gets to experience it too.
Yeah, that's it. We're here bringing the medicine if we let that happen,
Yes.
right? So beautiful. So, when it came to writing the book, who did you write the book for? Who did you write the book for? Who was in your mind, in your consciousness, that you were saying, I want this to serve this kind of situation. I mean, I know it's hard to pick one
Right?
because
I'm
at
like,
different times of the book there were different people, I'm sure, that you were really hoping to serve. But can you just speak to us about who the book is for
yeah.
and what will they get?
When I was first, when the book dropped on my lap, which was a manifestation in and of itself, I was like, okay, so who would I want to speak to and who do I speak to? And at first it was humanity, right? Not
Yeah.
everybody wants to hear, or maybe I'm just not the teacher for them, right? And so I thought, okay, if I were to soul be connecting with someone, it was two people, if you will, or two versions. And it was an old version of me when I was starting to wake up, but didn't understand all the beauty. And then all of the people that I've served and I've seen their lives change. I was like, that moment where you get to see someone's life just become even more amazing. I was so drawn to that process. And so I was like, I'm writing it for the people right before they further expand into their greatness, even if they already have massive abundance, but they want to make the world a better place. I'm going to bring that frequency of love as much as I can and that care for the highest good of all and the ability to fill their cup up in the process. Those are the people I want to hit. I want to hit those people that have all that love in their heart. And I know that they're going to carry it out further because I can only speak to so many, but if they can hear these words and they speak in their own way to many and many and many, that's the ripple effect and effect. And I'm cool with that.
Absolutely. And it's so beautiful when we have different age brackets and we have people from all over the world that have different cultural backgrounds, and we have all sorts of different conversations along the lines of healing and manifesting and transformation that are happening in our world right now. And it's certainly never been more appropriate. Although I don't think anything's really broken or wrong with our world, I think that we're being called to really understand what it means to look only into what matters most and to look clearly into what is our destination, what is our destiny, regardless of the circumstances in our external environment at any given moment. And we're being called to refine that kind of thing. It's now. And so I just really appreciate you coming in with your take on this and bringing it into the world at this time. And I thank you so much for weaving it together in the way that you have inside of your book. And I know that we're at a very important moment for the book itself as well. It's like ready to launch, launched, or just launched, or is launching, depending on when somebody's actually watching this video, but it's like right now. And it's always really juicy because there's so much cosmic energy that is available in a birth of any sort. You know, you've been working on it for a long, long time and calling energy from the stars and, you know, from the planetary cosmic information that is here. Boom. And so, you know, how are you celebrating this? Are you, I'm sure you're offering bonuses or things or whatever to, you know, there has to be a party involved here in some way, I'm sure. Tell me what's that looking like for
Absolutely. Yes. So as soon as, more folks are piling in, we've fortunately already got this incredible community ready to rock and roll. So as soon as everyone's got either the audio or, the book in hand, we've got tons of bonuses, meditations, pieces that move with and complement the book. We're doing a whole day event where we're going to celebrate and teach and learn and grow. That's in April. So I'm super excited about that. But I honestly, and I know that you know this even so much better than I do, but that celebratory piece, just sitting here and basking in and bringing in even more of the consciousness and just the blessing and gratitude of being able to be in this space and serve in this way and whoever it's supposed to touch. My heart is like every day just doing dances. I'm like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And then I'm like, but of course it's here.
yeah. Yeah, it's time to believe it, right? It's time to for us. I know I look around at my life and I'm like, how do you get around? I can't believe this is going so amazing. It's so beautiful and it's so flourishing with beautiful relationships and outcomes with our clients and so much of our community rising up and supporting one another and rising to the occasion of the times right now. And it's heaven earth is what I call it. It's not heaven on earth, it's heaven earth. It's one thing going on here. So I'm thrilled that you're here. I love that you're lighthearted about it, that you're like, hey, let's just do this, let's do this, let's do this, and make this happen. It doesn't have to be this big, serious, heavy thing that sometimes people get caught in thinking that, oh my gosh, my stuff and how I'm ever going to get it moving and how am I going to get change happening in my life. There's just a beautiful essence about you that I think is going to be serving many people for a long time. And I love it that you're starting with this beauty right here, 8 secrets to powerful manifesting. So how to create the reality of your dreams, everyone. Hopefully you'll plug in and join us and follow the instructions below on the email here to figure out how and when and what you're going to plug into right now. So blessings to you all. Thank you, Mandy, so much for being here and for sharing your beautiful, beautiful essence with us. And I so look forward to hearing from our community how the book was in service to them as well. So blessings for now, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Sue. Much love.
You bet, my dear.